Globalists and Zionists are not the same thing. They have a different end game. And I know this really fucks with people for reasons that still won't make any sense, and I'll get into, right? Because I just can. They're going to say that the globalists are a lot of Jews, or majority, or there's a huge, they're not the minority amongst globalists. Okay. That's really a crappy reason. I'll give you the logic in a minute, but first, okay, let me just tell you why that's crappy, right? So because Zionists want a state and globalists want to dissolve it, it's not possible because they're made up of Jews. Like, that's racist to say that it's impossible for them to have a different end game because they're both the same race. The differentiating factors that what the globalist has to represent is Zionism. They have to vocalize Zionism. They have to try to emulate. And if that is a bad connotation, they don't have a problem with letting you conspiracy theorize that they are. But the point is they're not, because they how can you be Zionist if you want to make Israel like hell on earth for any occupants? Like, if you want to make it intolerable for the people that live there, you're not a Zionist. Just because you're a Jew, that doesn't make sense. You know, like, isn't most of the Jesuits Jews, and they're Christians? Isn't Saudi Arabia like you know, a lot of Jews, and they're Arabs? Like, these little, I think it's like people want to, they're afraid to say that. You can't make somebody say this on their show because they would be sabotaging their shit. Like, I'm buried in the algorithm. There's no way. So it doesn't matter, right? But like, you know, like, if you want to say that this is retaliation for an event or something, okay. But the game that's being played is, it doesn't really matter about whether this is retaliation or it's incitement, because what will you do if I do this? What will he do if I poke his brain? That logic too could work. Fuck what everybody is gonna try to say who's not able to be you know, like, you can't hold us to justice because we write the laws. Who is that? It's so hard to imagine that the media is the same as the UN media or something. Like, what's the difference between the United States and the United Nations media? It's the same motherfuckers, exactly. It's exactly them same ones. You can, to a fucking person in a fucking skin suit or whatever, just like this, right? Got him. There they go. There they go. So it's like, can you just by lip service, does that make you, one, that you're trying, if you're just like infiltration for different reasons, is doesn't make you one. Just because that's, what's it called? Reductivism or something? Oh, what they like is people to be reductivist. Moral relativism. What's that shit? There's another just regular word for this. Fucking reductive reasoning. Reductive reasoning is it fair to say that's the same thing as moral relativism, thinking that everybody could just be right, like, because you have your own experiences, so there's no subjective truth. It's all subjective. So like that, like I was watching today, this chick said that aborting a baby at 9 months is not murder because it is not a personage yet because it wasn't born. And she was trying to get people emotional, but just arguing on the basis of what makes them a person one day before they're born. If you can recognize they're a personage when they're born. And says, well, she said that because they weren't in the world yet, but they're in the world when they're inside the mother's womb. They're in the world, like they're in the and some was another thing. It was like, so okay, I'm not trying to convince people that are crazy not to be crazy, because that's exactly what they want. Like, there's specifically in the Theosophical Society, there's a lot of men that get happy when you call them a bitch. They like this. They'll even let you know that that's okay to call them a bitch because this is something that they like. Everybody, some places you go, I guess, like you must be a death wish or something. And I guess there's ways to navigate within both of those societies. You could switch back and forth and know what it is between both of them. The only ones who can't are initiated monarch butterfly sex kin programming. Because by the time you can even talk, the elements of in-agency, of non-agency are inculcating its sublimations and trying to indoctrinate and what's it called? Dichotomize you. Just trying to give you neurolinguistic programming and dialectics and shit. I would think I have to explain all this shit, what it means, except for the fact that everybody who's supposed to be up on game already knows, and anyone who doesn't is part of it because they try to act like, that you have to get emotional. You can't just speak your mind. You have to get emotional. Like you're not, you're mean, shit. You gotta show some moral, righteous indignation. Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. I'm not convinced. You must be one of them people. You're one of them others. They try to hip you up to the others because they have this, there's the people that it's okay for you to like and chill, and then people that it's okay for you to hate. And they give you those people. Like, they give you those people, but how? You know what I mean? Like, they created those people. Like, they was chill with them before. It's a whole phenomenon that arises up out of knowing how to navigate within those circles well enough. Then you can imagine somebody does. They create their own circumstances for the plowshares to overtake their master. Like, it's just learn that history rhymes. It doesn't repeat, it rhymes. Fucking everybody hearing me talk is like, fucking tell me something I don't already know. We already know this shit. Who the fuck is left? You're right. like everybody who doesn't know that is fronting and acting right now. They're just playing at this subjective truth, being everything is subjective. Then you can so easily lure them out to voice or have an objective opinion. So if it's not possible, then it must be because you're the only one who is allowed to have an objective moral framework or something like this, regardless of whether or not you have one or not, specifically because you don't have one. See what I mean? Just nobody believes you because you didn't comb your naps and your beard. That's not cute. You're not cute. But there's a whole nother level of some shit that you want to get into. You could say it's not cute either. As far as if even fucking a booger shot out of it nose or something like that wouldn't matter if it was waving. Like, you know how we have nose hairs and shit. Like, what if like a piece of fucking phlegm or something shoot out? Like, I'm making a great point. You think I should do it over and everything? Oh, I forgot to have righteous indignation and show like a little bit more, signifying that I, hate the same people, so that way you know that I'm one of you. I don't. Who even wants people to do that for them? Like, that would be like buying me fake views or something. Like, maybe I don't like the outcome of a channel that has to buy all the subscribers and shit. Can't do something to maximize my message, or something. Just dilute, but don't even know how or something. Just be anything that happens is good. Anything that happens to my channel must be good for my channel. And then go on ahead and fucking find a channel that you like of somebody who's trying to rise organically and just buy them a bunch of fucking subscribers, see if they like it. Or like, where did they get all this? Their algorithm looks suspiciously like a bot now too and shit. Like, this is not the whole point of fucking working on like whatever little minutia, somebody who just talks about programming, like a specific type of computer science that hardly anybody's into or something like that. Like, why would they need more subscribers than the people who actually have the questions and shit that they work closely with? They even know them in real life. No, have a fucking 5,000 subscribers on top of them, then that's like, now you have spam and fucking you gotta clear every day. You gotta sit down for an hour and erase shit. So it's not fucking even sinister. It's the fact that their monarch butterflies are made faster than they can be reached with an orthodox approach to something scientific or something. We're not just being fucking tit for tat and fucking petty and bickering and shit. Like, science really does happen. People actually tolerate a lot more science than people are allowing themselves to even call it these days. And as a matter of fact, it's anti-science. And the thing is, not in the sense that you can be. Like, there's different senses of being. Because scientism goes far and beyond even religiosity as far as abuses. It doesn't mean that you should have religiosity running roughshod over people's right or anything, or liberties or anything to express, and it comes down to how you express. Because there's all this legalese about governance and shit like that. Trying to describe governance is if you're too stupid and dumb and to know how, then then you're unfit in a lot of ways, and it could be exempt from a lot of things, and perhaps because the way that people are, they should be. You've seen them exempting themselves from shit every day. They're just doing it in a way that it seems that they might get away with it, so people think that they gotta actually support because they might be empowered afterwards later,